In 2024, horror movies have pushed fear to new extremes. These films don't just scare, they haunt your mind long after the lights go out. Get ready for a chilling experience that will leave you on edge and questioning reality. This is horror like you've never known before. Number 10. Cuckoo. Gretchen, along with her father and stepmother, moves to an isolated resort in the heart of the Alps. From the outside, it seems to be an ideal place for relaxation, but shortly after arrival, the girl begins to feel that something is wrong. At night, she hears strange, disturbing sounds, as if whispers of something that shouldn't exist are coming from deep in the woods. Each successive night, her dreams turn into nightmarish visions, and the face of the woman pursuing her appears more and more clearly on the border of Java. With each passing day, Gretchen begins to uncover darker and darker secrets of the resort. Shadows of the past permeate the place, and the owner of the resort seems to know more than he admits. It turns out that he has been conducting his mysterious, sinister experiments here for generations, which have left their mark on those who come here. Gretchen feels that she is another victim, and that escape from this place may be impossible. Number 9. Exhuma. After a series of unexplained, frightening events, a wealthy Los Angeles family begins to realize that what is plaguing them is not mere bad luck. Their newborn baby is becoming the center of something dark and incomprehensible. In desperation, they call on two shamans, Huarim and Bongil, to perform rituals to save the innocent life. However, what they discover surpasses their worst fears. The dark shadow of an ancestor, long forgotten, haunts the family, wrapping them in its elusive, sinister influence. There is no peace in the house. Every moment becomes more and more suffocating, and the presence of something evil hangs in the air. The shamans, along with a geomancer and a mysterious embalmer, embark on a dark journey to an abandoned Korean village to find a grave that should never have been discovered. Number 8. You Shall Not Sleep Tonight. In You Shall Not Sleep Tonight, a young boy struggles with terrifying nightmares in which a ghastly monster lurks in a closet, causing him deep fear. Every night, in his moments of greatest terror, his father comes to comfort him and confront the child's fears. However, as time passes, the boy begins to notice something disturbing. Not only does the monster in the closet become more and more real, but his father's presence seems to have a dark side. Soon the boy discovers the terrifying truth about the nature of his father and the sinister force that threatens not only his life, but also the safety of his loved ones. With each passing moment, as the boy's courage grows, he discovers that the monster in the closet may be just the tip of the iceberg, and that his father is connected to a dark destiny that threatens the entire family. Nightmares that were once just a dream become a bloody reality in which the lines between truth and illusion blur in terrifying ways. Number 7. Handling the Undead. The film presents 3 stories of families who unexpectedly face an indescribable nightmare. Tora, an elderly woman, has recently buried her loved one when she suddenly returns from the dead. Mahler and his daughter Anna are struggling with the pain of losing their several-year-old son when the boy unexpectedly shows up at their home. David, alone after his wife's tragic accident, must face not only raising his 2 growing daughters, Flora and Kiana, but also his wife's return from the afterlife. A mysterious electrical discharge revives the dead, who return to their deserted homes in silence and without anger. The undead lie down in their beds, wait for someone to comb their hair, or receive visits from loved ones in hospitals, wrapped in a calmness that chills the blood in their veins. Although on the surface they are gentle, the sight of them inspires genuine horror. The filmmakers show with brutal realism the state in which the dead return, with earth tangled in their hair, with their bodies decomposing before the eyes of those who once loved them. Number 6. Oddity. The film opens with a terrifying scene. In a desolate house, in the middle of the night, Danny is brutally murdered. Her husband, Ted, a doctor at a nearby psychiatric hospital is shocked and accused of the crime by everyone around him, who believes that one of his dangerous patients may have been the perpetrator. Although the body of the murderer is quickly found, the mystery of Danny's death is not solved. A year later, the victim's blind twin, Darcy, who calls herself a medium and specializes in cursed objects, arrives at her former brother-in-law's house. She intends to uncover the truth about her sister's murder, taking with her the most horrific artifact from her collection to exact a terrifying revenge for the death of a loved one. Number 5. This Never Happened. This Never Happened is a supernatural horror film from 2024 that takes viewers into a world of unbelievable horror. The story centers on a young woman who spends a few days at the home of her boyfriend and his friends. The house, although seemingly normal, hides a dark past, which quickly begins to come to light. When the heroine begins to discover the disturbing corners of the place, her peaceful stay turns into a nightmare. Night after night, she is haunted by terrifying visions. She sees the ghost of a brutally murdered woman, whose anger and suffering are manifested in the most terrifying forms. The ghost appears at the most unexpected moments, not only in dreams, but also in reality, where its cold presence causes inexplicable fear. With the help of the boy and his friends, she tries to discover the truth about the ghost and find a way to free herself from its ghostly persecution. Number 4. Sting. During a terrifying snowstorm, a mysterious object falls from the sky and tears into the wall of a New York apartment building. Inside it is an egg from which an unknown, terrifying species of spider hatches. 12-year-old Charlotte, discovering this macabre find, decides to hide it from her parents. The spider, fed by the girl, quickly grows to gigantic size, and its hunger becomes ever greater. Soon, animals and people in the building begin to disappear, and the atmosphere in the apartment building thickens with fear and anxiety. Charlotte and her family face a nightmare when they discover that their new tenant is a hungry beast that does not hesitate to satisfy its brutal appetite for blood and human flesh. The fight against this alien, murderous creature becomes a struggle for survival, where every step could mean death, and the fear of what lurks in the dark becomes unbearable. Number 3. The Watchers. There is a dense, dark forest in Ireland that is not on any map. No one who has entered this forest has managed to return. One day, Mina, who works in a pet store, is transporting a rare parrot to a zoo near Belfast. As she travels through this unfamiliar terrain, her car suddenly breaks down, and she, looking for help, loses her way. In desperation, Mina runs ahead until she is rescued by Madeline, who lets her into a shelter, a bunker known as the Playpen. There, Mina discovers that it is a place where strict rules are followed in order to survive. This mysterious bunker is a refugee from the Watchers, sinister forces that lurk in the forest. In order to survive, Mina must adapt to unknown rules, and any breaking of the rules could mean cruel consequences for her. The forest still lurks behind the walls of the bunker, and the danger it brings is more terrifying than she could have imagined. Number 2. The Deliverance. Ebony Jackson, a single mother, moves into a new house hoping for a fresh start. However, from the moment they cross its threshold, inexplicable and terrifying things begin to happen. Supernatural phenomena gradually infiltrate the family's life, destroying their fragile stability. Soon they become increasingly violent, and the suspicions of Child Protection Services begin to target Ebony, accusing her of abusing her own children. Isolated, besieged by accusations and lacking support, Ebony must confront both the sinister forces haunting her home and the system that threatens to take her children away from her. Over time, she discovers that the home harbors dark secrets, an occult past that has embroiled them in something far more dangerous than she could have imagined. Number 1. The Hunted. A group of refugees from Africa, desperate to reach Italy, board a small boat, but their journey quickly turns into a nightmare. The survivors, including Weil, drift on the sea until they spot a ship. Hope returns when they are approached by a group of wealthy Europeans, headed by Vlad, who promises to help them. He takes them to his private island, promising that they are finally safe. but safety is an illusion. When Weil wakes up in the morning, he is in a van with the other survivors. The vehicle stops deep in the forest, and they are thrown out into the unforgiving wilderness. There they learn the truth. This is not a rescue, but a hunt. For 24 hours, they will be the game, pursued by their supposed saviors. Time is running out, and inevitable death hangs over them if they fail to survive this bloody game. If these films didn't scare you, maybe nothing can. Let us know which of these nightmares will stay with you, and which you'll save for later. If you dare,